Good morning, Jeep fans, Convoy crazies, Mighty Bite Munchkins too. Johnny here, coming at you from
March Unit 1, headquarters. Move out. Lead vehicle heading out of the fairgrounds. Thanks very much to Brown County Fairgrounds. March Unit 2, move out.
Johnny here, and the rest of the convoy coming at you from the American Legion in Olathe, Kansas. And what a nice stop this was. I'm gonna make my sleeping bag all stinky. They left the Legion open for us all night long, so we could go in and use the restrooms and stuff. This was the dry camping spot, but I'm right next to the pavilion that Ian's might have seen last night. The trains going by and stuff. Peg and I played horseshoes. They got two beautiful horseshoe pits here. Pavilion has power. They let us use their water out here, water spigots out here. We might as well be in a campground. But yeah, woke up at 6:57, and my alarm was set at 7. So convoy life, I guess. I don't know. Strange. I'm not normally like that, waking up before my alarm goes off. Little later kickoff today. We're kicking off at 9. Yeah, 9 a.m. first gear. I don't really like these later first gears, because we get into town too late. It's friggin' dark, practically dark when we get there. It's irritating. We're heading to Fort Scott, Kansas today. From what I understand, is Chuck said it's a pretty cool place. So we'll see. They're serving us breakfast here at this Legion too. Oh, one of the members here last night paid for everybody's meal. The meal that they had. Yeah, we all ate for free. Just like that.
They use the wrong molds.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a difference. They took carriage molds.
They have no string.
Well, they were grade 8, but yeah, but they put the
Morning, Chuck.
It is. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Cannot complain and will not do so. The chaplain's not here to listen to me anyway.
That's right. Hey guys, so we just had our delicious breakfast in the Legion there. Had a little bit of fellowship, and now I gotta come over here and figure out where I'm gonna put this whole convoy, because the other side of the parking lot's full of civilian vehicles. And so I'm just gonna walk over here and look at this a little bit, and then when we're ready to start racking these vehicles up, that's what we'll do. Okay, so I'll give you a quick rundown here. I have 6 groups of vehicles I have to stage in order so that we can all pull out in order. Typically what I will do is I will set the headquarters, then I'll set the heavies, then I'll set the other 2 march units. But then I also have to worry about support, because support leaves 15 minutes early. So I have to leave room for them to get out. And then recovery has them big long trailers. So I kind of got to think about but they take care of themselves. So I don't really need to give them much direction. But yeah, and you know, people come to line up in different orders. Like, it doesn't go, well, usually I'll set the march unit leaders first. And they're pretty good with that. But like the rest of their march units, they don't all come in order. It's not like 2 comes, then 3 comes, then 4 comes, then 5 comes. It's maybe 7 will come first, and then 2 is sitting back there. Well, I have to bring 2 up, so they're in there chewing the fat with somebody, so of course they're not there. And then, you know, so I have to make allowances for that too. Enough room in between the march units that people can fall in order and not get all screwed up. So it's, here comes CO now. Well, XO, I should say, with CO as the passenger. XO driver. Renee wanted me to tell you hi.
Oh, tell her a big hug.
Okay.
Hug for her.
Hug for her. Hug for Renee.
Hug for Renee.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, 1 minute to first gear. Let's take a look at the map. Olathe, beautiful stop. Love this place. We're going south. We're going south, baby. Get out ahead of this cold weather coming. South, south, south. Break at Osawatomie. Mine Creek Civil War site. And then on to Fort Scott.
Headquarters is turning left at the light on Harrison Street. Left at the light.
Oh, this is tomorrow. Don't look at that. Yeah, so that's where we're headed today. See that Mighty Mite back there still.
Detailed legislation been passed by Congress, meaning that any state entering the Union could self-determine whether or not it was a free state or a slave state. And Kansas was still a territory. And abolitionists from back east are coming out in droves to make sure it stayed a free state. And bushwhackers from Missouri, 5 miles away, were coming over and trying to set up claims to and also run the abolitionists off. So in 1856, down in Osawatomie, a bunch of bushwhackers from Missouri were shooting up the town, and an unarmed young teenager was shot cold dead on Main Street. We'll drive over that spot, but I don't think it's marked. That was John Brown's, one of his sons.
Oh, that's what triggered the whole thing.
You want to know when the Civil War started? It's when John Brown's son was killed in cold blood.
Yep.
Because that man went nuts.
Yep.
If you were a slaver, he'd kill you outright. To the east. And would literally attack farms that had slaves, burn down the barn, burn down the house, free the slaves, and bring them back to Kansas. It's interesting that this town of Olathe has a large black population, as does Osawatomie. Those are the actual descendants of slaves freed from Missouri.
Wow.
Jefferson was put in charge of that cavalry, and they called themselves the Jayhawkers. The Jayhawkers of Kansas. It's now the mascot of the University of Kansas. Interestingly, the Missouri Tigers from that horrible state were named after a group of rebel militia around Columbia and Jefferson City during the war. Standing football rivalries was west of the Mississippi was Kansas versus Missouri in anything, football, basketball, tiddlywinks, lawn tennis, anything. It's always been a fight. And they called the border war.
Going all the way back to bloody Kansas.
As we know, John Brown decided to start the Civil War by getting on a train with a bunch of his followers and going back to
1921. Wow. That might be John Brown right there. So guys, you might have seen that this morning that the CS 135 is up on the trailer with some transmission issues. Guess he can't get third gear to set up solid. So he is assuming it's something in the front pump, not giving the clutches enough pressure to lock up. Because I would assume it was the clutches going out of it. But he said he just had the whole transmission rebuilt, so that's a bummer. And that is the risk that we take out on the road like this. Thankfully, we have a recovery unit. So they went yesterday. Paul Baptiste and one of the Neelys went to go pick up their 1010. They threw a rod on the way up to East Grand Forks. They made it up into here somewhere. So it was on Big Green. When we got to the Legion last night, they had to switch some things around. Now Wild Bill is pulling George Collins' trailer with the 1010 on it. And the 135 is on Big Green, the Big Tex trailer. Hopefully we don't have any more snafus. Now the Mighty Mite's doing much better. I listened to it last night. He worked, Tom and Benny worked on that thing for hours last night. Somebody told me he has a new carburetor coming in today, but he's in the Convoy right now. He was on the trailer yesterday when we came through downtown Kansas City. How about that, man? The motorcycle police and the police department, they got us right through that city, right through the middle of the city. Holy fuckers. So I gotta grab the right lane here. Okay. So, just another day on the Jefferson Highway. We're coming into Osawatomie, which is famous for John Brown and Bloody Kansas and what they call the Border War, which really set off the Civil War, as you heard John explain in the previous clips. I guess we're going to see what they got here. It's fascinating. You know, they don't teach about, they teach about Harper's Ferry, but they don't teach about what led up to that whole, like John Brown's son getting killed. They don't teach any of that stuff when I went through anyways. So the actual events, they're pushing the slavery thing. You know, the slavery is what caused the Civil War. And obviously there is that's a large part of it, but what actually triggered those events? What set those chain of events in motion? They don't, I mean, it's like, they don't teach any of it. And Harper's Ferry is a paragraph in a book, you know? So, that's my experience in the public educational system. Oh, that's a good angle, isn't it? Let's see, we got some dates up here. 1950, okay. 1949.
Don't copy. I'm gonna get into the park. Relay, can I go to one? Have to go to one.
Dunlap
All
building.
right, attention to all convoy members. Be aware, we have very
1928, right before the stock market crash. 1929.
Very cautious. Don't copy.
1890. Wow.
Be careful.
So beautiful. Yeah, rough ride. Love it. Hey, Art. Wow, look at this beautiful brickwork on the road here. Yeah, buddy.
That might be a little room here.
That sounds like the Penn State marching song.
Come on back, Pat. Come on back.
So we're here in Osawatomie at the John Brown Museum. A lot of the locals came out. The kids are climbing around the vehicles and touching them, and very tactile experience for them. Love it. So we're here at the John Brown Museum. I'm going to go up the hill here and check out the museum. Maybe get a souvenir or two and send a postcard home to Dad. So here we are, John Brown Museum. I guess his hut or home is encased inside this building.
I don't think John Brown would like that sign, the open carrying the firearms in the building.
No, he wouldn't like that sign. That would be completely against what he stood for.
Don't go up in there. Just go to the top one.
Hand-hewn timbers in here.
But everything freezes up so you want to be able to know. We are all huddled in my room and eat together and they sleep together. All the work we're all we I was truly glad you did not attempt to come home last week. We would have nearly perished away and found it rather uncomfortable when you got here.
Very small, modest cabin here.
What?
You're never gonna see this. Come here.
Hold on, buddy. I'll see it in a minute, okay?
I want to take. I need my stick. Wait. Dad, I'm going home. Come here.
There's Dad right there.
This is like, don't hit the window, okay?
Dad, that's creepy.
This is,
Dad, Dad. We're not gonna see this. Come here.
somebody get this one.
What? I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Why try? Why you try?
You ain't go to there?
Is that her signature that is? Good luck.
Hang on there.
Don't put your fingerprints on that.
Wow.
Wow.
About 10 minutes to first gear. Now, you know, I've mentioned this before in my seminar. I've touched on this, and I've said it before, that if not for the Convoy program, I never would have known about John Brown. I never would have known about this museum, and I certainly never would have come here in Osawatomie, Kansas, to visit this historic site. This whole area of the country is ground zero for the Civil War, and never would have known about this. So, what a great stop. Thanks for having us. Up we go, rough riding, baby.
Hell yeah, brother.
Thanks for having us. What I haven't been able to figure out is why there's so many gosh darn bicycles in town. They're friggin' everywhere. Thank you. It seems like every house and every business has a friggin' old ash swim bicycle in it. Yeah. I haven't been able to figure that one out yet. Also, my cat died last night, so not having didn't get off to a very good day, but it's improving. I just gotta close it up here. I'm fucking around too much. Out there. Hay bales go all the way off into the distance. That's really something. Oh, I hope I pick up some more of that. This kid just got on the radio. Oh my God. Yes, General, reading you loud and clear. Anyways, he got on the radio and he was like, units assemble or something, or marshal or something like that. Oh man, that was funny. And then JT came back and said, what was that? I laughed so hard. Oh man, that was great. We were told not to, you know, interact with people getting on the radio, and I couldn't help myself. So I apologize, but it's just a little kid. He's probably like so happy right now that he talked to the convoy. So we were just reminded not to engage with the locals, and I know that, but I couldn't help myself. That's the future of this whole thing, you know. I try to do the PR work when I can. That was a nice barn back there. I might get a fine later for engaging on the radio, but that's okay, it was worth it. I bet that little kid got a kick out of talking to the convoy. Maybe we'll see him on one someday. Wouldn't that be a cool story? Like in 2026, see a young kid on the convoy with his dad or his grandparents or something, and tells a story about talking to the convoy when it came through, you know, rural Kansas. That would be cool, and it would be totally worth the fine. Because you know they're the future of this whole thing.
You okay up there, Rick? Yeah, I just like to take advantage of gravity and kind of coast down the hill. Hey, slow down.
The heck is going on here? Why aren't we going in there? Bruh. It looks like a friggin' craft fair or something over there. Alright, we are officially in Mound City.
Cruise 10, make a left turn. Neil, copy.
Whoa, baby. Throw out the parachute.
Make a left turn. Neil, copy.
That's why they call it Mound City, because we had to come up on the mound of dirt here to get into the old part of town. Our welcoming committee. Well, with some insulators on top. Huh. I think that's the only one out here. I'm surprised nobody cut that down yet. Barn Hunters, Kansas edition. Well, no cover. You guys know what that means. Jeep hair don't care. Got a bit of a crosswind here today. So we're going right down the far eastern border of Kansas and Missouri here. After learning about bloody Kansas, it makes you think, you know, I bet you a lot of people died right in this area of the state, out in these fields. Maybe they never found them. Yeah, it's a heck of a thing to think about.
First gear will be 115. First gear, 115. And we'll pull up here and park and hold. Stay on the mode. Deal, copy.
Hey, buddy. Whoa, buddy.
Say what? 3-2, follow 3-1. Light truck.
It's a good thing, that's why we do this.
Yeah, I'm taking one of the pictures and my brother has grandkids.
Oh, yeah, please
That
do.
he didn't know about.
Well, that's what happened in the well call right there.
I was looking for it, I was wondering where he went.
I went in that room for a while.
Took a nap.
Are you falling asleep? Yeah, I was falling asleep and, Roger was over here falling asleep next to me. I said to him, I said, "Think it'll be rude if I walk out."
No, I know Janine fell asleep in the back of the truck coming here. Oh.
He's talking about this concrete bridge we're about to go over. Wow, that's a lot prettier than I expected it to be. Wow. Taking the Jefferson Highway, old Route 69, straight down to Fort Scott.
Three tail made the right turn. You'll copy.
You're a stinker. Baby, because that's what we do. Wow, this bridge is even more beautiful. When you turn them into a track doodle bug.
You'll copy. Can I go to one? Yes. Convoy, and you approach beyond the bridge. We're going to ask you to slow the convoy to a very slow crawl because we're going to be parking some of the vehicles into a pavilion. We need to judge the amount of vehicles in there before we continue. And so we're going to take it piecemeal a little bit at a time. After we fill the pavilion, the columns will split right and left and do curb parking coming up the hill. We'll guide you as you go. CO copy.
Looking good that way. Looking good that way. Let's send it.
Cross 7, left turn. CO copy.
Here's another antique concrete bridge coming into Fort Scott. Wow.
Rick, if you want to curb park up the street, you can for fixing.
Whoa, horsey! Jeep ass.
Right here, they say we can use it. It's up to you.
Gonna chalk her up, sign her up. Go to the drivers meeting. We made her 100-mile run today. Stop at Civil War battlefield and John Brown Museum. Good day today. Very good day. So, drivers meeting.
If you go through the back door, any veterans that mentions that fact, they've got a challenge point for you if you go into the back entrance of the museum. And that is open. So, Chuck, you want to talk about camping tonight and then our day tomorrow?
Whoa, doggy.
Okay. Tonight, you've got two options for camping. You passed mine, there's showers, there's bathrooms.
Can you start from the beginning?
There you go. What a shot. Wow, Academy Award.
From the beginning. Welcome to Fort Scott, Kansas. My name is Chuck.
Where were you born?
Okay. If you looked out here on National Avenue, there's plenty of places to eat. Sandra and I have eaten at every one of them. There's not a bad meal here in town. So I want you to take advantage of that. Tonight, there's two camping options. One is to the north. You passed a primitive campground back there to the north there on the other side of the bridge. It is primitive. In town, in this direction right here, is Gun Park. Gun Park is the largest city-developed park in the United States. It has camping. There's primitive camping. There's RVs, hookups with electric and water. There is no sewer. There is showers. There's bathrooms there at the camp. And for RV or hookups, it's $20 per night. And they're asking $10 donation for those of you who camp. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the timing this a little bit. As I said, you got 2 meals today on your own. Tomorrow morning, 7:30 at the VFW, they said they would provide breakfast for us. Originally, we planned on doing a ceremony at the National Cemetery, and we've been asked not to, but we could do a drive-through it and let you see it. This town has 3 national cemeteries. Very unusual, but this is what is here in Fort Scott. From here, we're going to go ahead and head south. And we've elected to not take you on the original route of the Jefferson Highway simply because there's too many gravel stretches, and y'all have been breathing enough gravel dust.
Is that the first break? First break, John.
That is the first break because the driving time from here to there is 1 hour. And so when we get to the Franklin Miners Museum, we will...
Those kids see the PS4 in there and they go crazy over that. Oh, not much. Just making a cinematographic masterpiece here. That's a hell of a stable. So I got a challenge coin for Fort Scott National Historic Site, and these are only supposed to be for veterans, so I wasn't going to ask for one. But Art was in there and told the lady that, you know, I deserve one, so I'm honored to have it, and it'll go in my collection with my other challenge coins. I'm going to have to mill out a display stand so I can start displaying these proudly up in the holler. All right, so that was a nice little walk around Fort Scott, and we were committed to display our vehicles here till 3:30. It is 3:30 now, so I'm gonna back that ass up and get up to Gun Campground and get myself a spot, drop the trailer, head to Walmart. I have a couple more videos that are ready to upload, so if they have good Wi-Fi, we'll send that. And maybe find something to eat. It looks like the town of Fort Scott is far larger than just this little old area here. They even have a Walmart Supercenter on the south side of town, so we're gonna do that. All right, first to camp. Oh, by the way, here's the Neely's 1010 that threw a rod on the way up to East Grand Forks. That's a bummer. But poop do happen. Beautiful down. That's a beautiful street down there. Wow. (1917). Walking these brick streets. How we looking? Good in the hood. Yeah. There. Little fixer-upper. Another beautiful old building. Phew. Corn Hunters, Bloody Kansas edition. I'm going, but we're going. Rock Shelter Pavilion, shelter, RV camping. This way. Up here. Hey guys, can you hear the ice cream truck? Listen real carefully. I don't know if you can hear it over the critters here. But welcome to Son of a Gun Park here on the western side of Fort Scott, Kansas. And surrounded by a lake. So now in the morning, I'll be able to say, coming at you from the shores of, what do we call this? Gun Lake? Yeah, that's what we'll call it. So We finished our static display. I fired her up right around 3:30, and a nice picnic bench down here. I might come down here later and just enjoy the evening. There are only 10 RV spots here at Gun Park. The rest of the camping is tent camping. You have to hike for it. Sorry, I was looking at my leg. Looked like something bit there. And I apologize for the noise. So we're straight out of RV spots here. There are only 10 spots, so I think the prospective plan is to. I said if somebody wants to double stack with me, that's fine as long as they're quiet. And I said I'm quiet, so we might bunch up a couple vehicles because we're allowed to have 2 cars per campsite spot. Hello, beautiful. So that's what we're gonna do. I am probably gonna sit down here later and drink some beer because got some bad news this morning from home. I tell you, I've been going through a lot of shit on this convoy. But onward and upward, as I've always said, the show must go on. That's show business, baby. All of the convoy stuff that I had been talking about earlier in the series, that's all taken care of. Everything's hunky-dory now. And everybody seems to be getting along just fine, so everybody's acting right, everybody's having fun, it seems, and the things that we've seen so far on this convoy is just amazing. Hopefully that continues the further south we go. Alrighty, guys. I think I'm gonna, I don't know, try to go catch this ice cream truck, maybe get an ice cream cone. This way. Whoa. Whoa, baby. Some pretty artwork on this wall. We ain't in Kansas anymore. Oh, wait. All right, convoy crazies. I think I'm going to stay in this lane here. I'm going to go pick up dinner for Rick. Hopefully he ordered a little extra for me. And thanks, buddy. We're going to expedite. I'm going to get up on the highway here since I don't have the trailer. We're going to go pick that up and get some 17 South Main Street. Yeah, I got that. Thanks, Rick. It's in my phone GPS, which is probably going to make all kinds of noise and dinging shit at me, but that's okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna get fuel, dinner, and then get back to camp and sit by the lake, by West Lake. I don't know if that's West Gun Lake or if that's just West Lake in Gun Park, but I was a little heavy coming out of the hole that time. Slow down a little bit. Okay, let's go. 333, that's gotta be good luck. Yeah, so I saw this Casey's on the highway with the U-turn right on the road there and whipped in here. Gonna do my fuel log here. Pulling that trailer at 35, I'm getting about 12 to 14 mile a gallon, which is not exactly my favorite. 11.496 gallons. 33.33. at $2.89.9 a gallon. So with this log, I can track the total amount of money I've spent on this trip from when I left home to when I get home, and I can compute my fuel mileage every time I fill up. All right, I think we ought to probably pull this out of here. Might be a good idea. Put the cap back on. All right, arrivederci. Down on Main Street. I don't know where the hell this thing is I'm looking for here. It must be up here. This is it. Cantina Mexicana. There's a number in there. Whoa, whoa. Look at that beautiful sun. Oh man.
Turn right on West 2nd Street.
That sounds gorgeous. Johnny O's Nashville hot chicken and burgers, son of a bitch. Back on the bricks. That's probably the prettiest sunset I've seen so far in the Convoy. Cat down there, you better get off the road there, little one. Hey, you want to go home with me? Hello there. Meow meow. Son of a gun park. A Fort Scott tradition. Sure is pretty seeing that sunlight reflect off the water like that. Oh, and they're jumping, baby. Hey, Matt, you should have been down here, buddy. You could be out there fishing right now. Fish do be jumping. Jeez. We got the precious cargo. Oh man, I love brick roads. They're so fun. Back to camp we go. Here we are, West Lake, Gun Park, Fort Scott, Kansas. Bloody Kansas. It was a good idea on paper coming down here right next to the lake to eat dinner, but I'm telling you what, they got some monster mosquitoes up here. One just bit me in the leg and it hurt. So back up to the shelter I go. Gonna hang out, watch some Hell on Wheels, and call it a night, guys. Breakfast at DFW in the morning, and then we're on to Big Brutus with a stop. I forget where the heck we're stopping. It's some museum or something. Oh well, look at that. What a view. Good night, guys. We'll see you in the morning.